Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be crocheting the Rainbow Granny Square by Lisa from CuteCrochetMakes as part of her Unicorn Dreams blanket crochet along. This is of course a standalone granny pattern that you can use within any blanket. It doesn't have to be for the Unicorn Dreams blanket cal. If this is your first visit to my channel, it would be amazing if you just took a moment to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. As always, over on Lisa's website, CuteCrochetMakes, there is a free downloadable PDF written pattern complete with a list of yarn and shades and all the information you could possibly need over on our website. So I urge you to pop on over there and take a quick look and grab a free copy of the pattern for yourself. I will of course be going through the shades I'm using in just a moment. And with timestamps in mind, if you are a seasoned crocheter and you're looking at this going, oh, it's just a standard granny square. Okay, I know how to do those. Yes and no. So anyone that's looking at this thinking it's just a normal granny square, then use those timestamps in the description box below and jump to round 7 and 8, this pale pink round here, because it's done differently to a traditional granny square. So you guys can bypass a whole massive chunk of this video and just leap straight. It's definitely worth checking out rows 7 and 8 because they do end differently to just your standard granny square. All right, I know what you all want to know, and that is what yarn am I using and what shades am I using them in, because that's what everybody asks me every time. So Lisa does have that information on her website, but I'm going to show you now the colours that you're going to need to do this beautiful rainbow granny square. So first up, I'm using Stylecraft Special double knit yarn, and these are the shades working from the centre point out. We have Wisteria, followed by Clematis. Try and make sure all these stay in shot. I bet they won't. Followed by Sherbert, followed by Spring Green, creeping in the side there. We've got Lemon here. We've got, oh, I'm running out of room. We've got Apricot. And then last but not least, we have Candyfloss right in the middle here. Now, these colours seem to blow out a little bit on my camera. The pastel doesn't, it just seems to really look washed out. However, it's not. The colours you see in my thumbnail imagery are more true to life than this is showing up here. I'm not sure why my camera struggles so hard when filming to pick up these pastel colours, but they are stunning together, and this here is the complete rainbow that you're going to need alongside a 4mm crochet hook to make this rainbow granny square. So let's jump straight in. As I said, if you are a seasoned crocheter and granny squares are old hat to you, then definitely jump and use those timestamps to jump to the last 2 rows just to see how they're finished off. And for everybody else who wants to crochet along with me, grab your yarn, let's begin. So I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, and I'm starting with the colour Wisteria. Now, to begin the granny square, we're going to use a magic ring. If you don't know how to do a magic ring, I do have a video on exactly how that's done, which I've linked to in the description box below, or a little eye might have popped up in the top corner here. So we're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. Then we're going to place 2 more double crochet into the magic ring. Now, if you don't know how to do a double crochet, I also have a video on how to do exactly this stitch linked in the description box below. Chain 2 and put 3 more double crochet into the center ring. If at any point I am going too fast for you, there are 3 little dots up in the top right hand corner for your settings for the video. On there, you can slow the speed of the footage right down so that I'm crocheting in slow motion, or you are of course free to pause or rewind the video. So we're going to chain 2 to form our next corner and put 3 more double crochet into the center ring. chain 2, 3 double crochet into that center ring, chain 2, and now we're going to slip stitch to the top of the original chain 3, which is here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch into that third chain. Now if you can't find the third chain, don't worry too much. Granny squares are worked into the spaces around, so just sort of aim for the top. So now we can go ahead and tighten up our magic ring. We're also done with the wisteria colour, so chain 1, grab your scissors, cut yourself a tail, give yourself a decent amount that you can weave in after, pull that through that chain you just made and pull it tight. Now at the end of this video I will show you how to deal with all these ends, but for now don't worry about them. Go ahead and grab your next colour, which is Clematis. So we're going to be attaching our new colour into one of these chain 2 corner spaces. So pop your hook through that space, grab Clematis, make a slip knot and pop it on your hook. Okay, so with your new colour loop pulled through, I've got one finger on the tail end there. Don't worry too much if that knot comes through with you, because when we weave that in, it'll disappear away again. So go ahead and chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet. Now into this same chain 2 space, we're going to put 2 more double crochet stitches. And because we're in a corner, we're going to form a corner. So chain 2 and put 3 more double crochet into that same chain 2 space. So you've formed your first corner. Now we are going to work into each of these chain 2 spaces in turn, and into each one we're going to form a corner. So into each of these chain 2 spaces, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into the same chain 2 space. So that's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So repeat that little sequence in this chain 2 space and in this chain 2 space. So once you've completed all 4 corners, just like before, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that initial chain 3. And we're done with Clematis now. So chain 1, cut yourself a decent length of tail, pull it through and pull it tight. Then go ahead and grab your next colour, which will be Sherbert. Now, just like before, for round 3, pop your hook into any of these chain 2 corner spaces. Now, I like to pick an opposite side to the side that I last joined on to try and stop your granny square from going too wonky. So we joined over here, so I'm going to move and join into this one. Pop a slip knot on your hook and draw that loop through to the front. Chain 3 and put 2 more double crochet into that same chain 2 space. Move them around a little bit. Chain 2 and put 3 more double crochet into that space to form a corner. Now in this side section here, you're going to place 3 double crochet. And then we're immediately back to a corner, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into the same chain 2 space. Three double crochet in your side. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So in these corner spaces, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and on the sides, 3 double crochet. So corner, side, and I'll meet you back here. So I'm just finishing up my side cluster here. And I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that chain 3. And we're done with Sherbert now. So chain 1, cut a length, pull it through and pull it tight, and grab your next colour, which will be spring green. So as before, hook in a chain 2 space, make a slip knot, pop it on your hook and bring that loop through to the front. Chain 3, 2 double crochet into that same chain 2 space, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet again into that same chain 2 space to form a corner. Now we have 2 side sections before we hit our next corner. So go ahead and place 3 double crochet on this side section and 3 double crochet in this side section. So that's 1. On my next side, that's 2, and then we're back to a corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into that same space. Oops. Try not to lose the loops off your hook. So you can see your granny square grows by 1 extra side cluster each round. So you continue on side, side, corner, side, side, corner, side, side, and I'll meet you back at this point so we can finish off this round. So to finish this round, just as before, you're going to slip stitch to the top of that initial chain 3, chain 1, cut a length of yarn, pull it up, pull it tight, and your granny square should be looking like this. The back of your granny square will be looking like this chaotic mess. Now, it's a good idea to get disciplined at weaving in your ends after a couple of color changes, like at this point. Otherwise, you are storing up a world of hurt out the other side because you'll finish your beautiful square, you'll turn over, and you will die a little bit inside when you see how many ends you have. So I'm going to take a moment to just show you how I tackle my ends, and then I'm going to weave all these in. So grab a large eye needle and I'll show you exactly how I weave in my ends. So I've brought in a blue background just for a bit better contrast for you to be able to see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to, I've got like a large eye needle. I'm just going to thread it up. So this is where we just finished off. So what I do, and it is completely up to you, but what I do is I then come with my needle from the back and come under that next double crochet stitch. So we join with a slip stitch to the chain 3, and this is the next double crochet stitch. I pull it through, and then I go into that chain 3 underneath the slip stitch I just made, which brings that chain 1 lump down. Then I flip it over, and it is just a case of weaving this in. So that's my chain, in and out, and I like to run it underneath all these stitches here. And then I'll come back on myself because, ignore this is my other tail. Because you don't always just want to weave in one direction, because as things get pulled, that tail will always work its way back out again after several washes if you don't go back the other way. So to secure it back the other way, I skip the leg of that first double crochet. So I came underneath, and if you split it, you can see it's like little bars. I'll go over the first one and then back under the way I just came. Like that. So I've gone back over. And then same again, skip this bar and come underneath. That way, it doesn't matter which direction it gets pulled in, you've taken your tail back and forth a couple of times. Now, if this was all the same colour and my whole square was green, I'd then run this end down through the body of some of these stitches, pop out over here, come back down through, pop out over here. But because it is just one round, I'm going to go up. I'm always working on the back, up a stitch, and then over into my next ones. Oh, sorry, doing this out of shot. Coming back down through, and I'm running off further along this way. So you always want to have a slightly longer tail than you think you're going to need, because trust me, I've learned from experience, my very first granny square blanket I made, I cut these ends far too short, and now the whole thing's fallen apart. It's unraveled, and I haven't got any excess tail to weave in. So I just take it maybe a little bit further than I need to, but once bitten, twice shy. and I just disappear off down the run. So even if one of these little tails pokes out after the wash, I know that actually it comes all the way from way over here, so it's okay. So once you are weaved in and happy, woven, weaved, you can then snip your end. So you want to do that with all your ends, and importantly, this magic circle, it will not hold forever unless you weave your end in. Again, I have learnt this the hard way. So your magic circle, don't be fooled by the name. Magic circle, do the same, run underneath these back leg stitches a few times before you cut this end. And if you have had a magic circle come undone on you in the past, I have a video on my channel with how to repair that. So I'm just taking it through a few times before I trim that end. All right, that's my ends dealt with. Life is a lot neater on the back. So now we're ready to do round 5. So go ahead and grab lemon, and just like before, we're going to join to a chain 2 corner space. All right, same as before, chain 3, 2 double crochet into that same chain 2 space, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and that forms your very first corner. So you'll see that we have grown again by another side section. So we have 1, 2, 3 sides to do for this round before we hit our corner again. So just like you have been, 3 double crochet for the side. So 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then in your corner spaces, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Do that all the way round, and I'll meet you back here in just a moment to finish off the round. All right, I'm just finishing up my last 3 double crochet of this round. And to finish, just like before, join with a slip stitch to the top of your chain 3, chain 1, cut a length of yarn, pull it up, pull it tight, and grab your next colour, which will be Apricot. So I'm joining Apricot to my chain 2 corner, just as we have been doing. And I'm going to chain 3, pop 2 double crochet into that corner, chain 2, 3 double crochet all into that same corner space. Okay, things are getting very pale, so I've brought in my blue background for a bit of contrast. I probably should have done this on the yellow round to make things a bit easier for you guys to see. However, hopefully we're all at the same point, and you will see that for this round we have yet again another corner side cluster formed space. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean, side bits. So we're going to have 3 double crochet side cluster here, here, here and here, and then a corner over here, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So you will have 4 corners and 1, 2, 3, 4 side clusters. So just as you have been doing, continue round. So 4 side clusters in between your corners. So at the end of this round, just as you have been, slip stitch to the top of that 3rd chain, chain 1, cut your end. Oops, oh, 3rd time lucky. There we go. Pull it through, pull it up, and then grab your final colour, which is Candyfloss, which we'll do the last 2 rounds with. Bring in Candyfloss, and as you have been, join to any chain 2 space, make a slip knot, pop it on your hook, and bring that loop through to the front. Now this round is a little different because we are going to be doing half double crochets. So to start, you're going to chain 2, which counts as your first half double crochet. And then into this corner, we're going to place 2 more half double crochets. Chain 2, and then we're going to put 3 half double crochets in to finish this corner. Now a half double is yarn over. Go in, come back through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So you want 3 of those. And now we're going to treat this exactly the same as we have been with side clusters and corners, only this time we're doing them in half double crochet. So 3 half double crochet sets from the side, and in the corners 3 half doubles, chain 2, 3 half doubles. So you've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side sections before you hit a corner. So I'm just finishing up my last 3 half double crochets of this round, and we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that original chain 2, but do not cut your yarn. So don't worry too much if your corners are starting to curl round. That's because we've been doing half doubles, which are a shorter, slightly tighter stitch. Just give them a little tug and they will fall back into place. So now we're ready to begin the 8th and final round. So for round 8, you're going to chain 1 and pop a single crochet into the top of that chain 2 that you just slip stitched to. Then you're going to pop a single crochet in the tops of the next 2 half double crochets, and then in this chain 2 space you're going to place 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet. Now you want to watch that your corners don't overlap the first stitch of this row, so because they can kind of overlap, so give them a little shunt round so you can clearly see the tops of your half double crochets from the round below. Now you're going to place a single crochet into every single stitch all the way around. So it'll be in groups of 3. So single crochet into the top of all the half double crochets from around below, and in the corner space you're going to put 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet for each corner. Just be wary that your corner stitches don't overlap that first half double of your round. So I'm doing my last few stitches here, and when you are done, you are going to join with a slip stitch to the top of your very first single crochet, chain 1, cut yourself a tail, pull it up, pull it tight, grab your yarn needle, your sort of large eye needle, weave in the rest of those ends that we all know that we've let accumulate, and you will be done. So as always, this is thanks to Lisa from CuteCrochetMakes. As I said in the introduction, I definitely urge you to pop on over to her website and grab all her free downloadable PDF patterns, where she's got loads of these beautiful Unicorn Dreams blanket crochet along squares there. So until next time, I will see you again on my channel very soon. Happy crocheting! Bye!